Hello everyone, this is Kaifu here with Game 3 in the series between Peter and Ben. Peter on my left side is playing Blazing Knight, and also on my right side we have Ben playing Blazing Knight. This will be a Blazing Knight versus Blazing Knight mirror match, and I know that in Game 1 and Game 2 I said that you guys are tired and seeing Blazing Knight versus Blazing Knight. I know how you guys feel because I'm the one who's casting, recording and editing all these boring ass repetitive moves and so on, so I know how you guys feel. It's already started. 2 Guinevere's, 2 bows on field, same concept from both players at the moment. So let's get back to the game itself. Ben's going very aggressive at the moment, doing 600 point damage with his Lancelot, putting the pressure onto Peter because Peter has to somehow get rid of that Lancelot in a way that doesn't cost him too much resource, because the fact that his Lancelot will, if he has a Lancelot and he runs into his Lancelot, Neville Lancelot will win. But if he has a Percival in the field which can protect his own Lancelot, which is great, which he does have at the moment, but when he played it, he didn't get a Lancelot, but he did get 2 bows or 2 Garrus. So if I was Peter, I will add the bow right away, and which he does, because bows are very annoying especially in the early game, stopping your opponent, not allowing them to go any extra aggressive play, because this will slow them down in the early game. It's pretty much like I said before in Game 1 that the bows are like towers from Frozen Throne and Reign of Chaos, just slowly prolonging the game until you get enough resources, get enough tech going, and then overwhelm your opponent with mass mortars or mass weapons and so on, something like that on the line. And pretty much your Lancelot is your Blade Master that can go critical strike, wind walk, and so on. And yeah, I don't know why I said that for some reason. In comes the Gwen to boost up the Lancelot, so doing 800 point damage now, forcing Peter to use one of his bow, and it looks like successfully went off. And I'm pretty sure Ben doesn't have the instant spell that protects it, and it doesn't have the Demon Flame, so he's using 2 bows to kill the Lancelot. But however, Guinevere is going to respond, sacrificing the Lancelot to draw 2 cards and discarding 1. I can't see what's in his hand at the moment because it's too hard to see from here. I do see a Lancelot, so maybe that would be a good follow-up play for next turn. I do see the addition that protects him from spells and ability, and your opponent can't attack it, which is a good card, but I'm not sure what he's got discard. Discarding the King Flame Shout, I'm not sure about that, because especially you going first, because that King Flame Shout can do a lot of AoE damage directly to your opponent's side field. So I'm not sure getting rid of it is a good idea, but he might have better cards in hand in general. Another bow being played by Ben at the moment, so 2 bows each, but however Ben has extra counter more than Peter's at the moment, so Peter has used wisely for his counter because you don't want to waste it anymore, because especially when your opponent has 2 bows as well with full counter, well not full counter but half a counter each, so pretty much can actually assassin your Lancelot, assassin your whatever you have on the field. So you have to be very careful when to attack and when to block as well, so you don't get in range, get killed by a bunch of bows and so on. Paying 2, putting a Lancelot on the field and attacking into the Guinevere, so not allowing any Resonator on the opponent's side field, and sacrificing the Percival, giving it extra defense. And not only that, if Ben blocks with a Gwen, Peter can just respond with, you know what, I will activate my Lancelot's effect, pumping up by 100 attack and getting rid of your Gwen that easily. Even though you rest my Guinevere, it wouldn't matter too much because I still have my 2 bows and got rid of your Gwen at the same time. But good thing that Ben didn't do that, because if Ben did that, he lost his Gwen, which is very important in the mirror match, due to the fact that Gwen can actually boost your own round table to outpace your opponent's power overall. For example, at the moment Peter doesn't have his own Gwen, so pretty much if once Ben drops his own Lancelot on the field, that Lancelot becomes an 8/8 compared to a 6/6. So obviously when it comes to damage wise, it does goes towards Ben. However, with 2 bows on the field on Peter's side, I don't think he can do much, but with the addition under it, protecting it from spells and ability, which does allow him to go a bit more aggressive and not worry about the bows. Now it all depends what does Ben do now. He has two choices: attacking directly, which he does do, or attacking to the last slot, which he can also do at the same time as well. So putting Peter down to 2,600 compared to Ben's 4,000 life point. Back to Peter's turn. 4 magic stone open, 1 magic stone open for Ben. Peter has a lot of power plays now, perhaps maybe a couple of King Flame Shout and combo with a Garrett after that and running over the Gwen, pretty deadly at the same time. Or he can drop a Hector and power up the Lancelot to hit a ton of damage, not only that forcing Ben to use 2 counters, and not only that you got rid of a Gwen at the same time. In comes the Gwen played by Peter, using 2 resources to power up the Gwen, power up the Lancelot and attack direct 4,000 point damage, and not only that, burning 700 first to get rid of the Gwen that Ben has on the field at the moment. Using a counter from the bow and using Demon Flame after that, sacrificing the Gwen by sacrificing the Lancelot by Guinevere on Peter's side to draw 2 cards and discard 1, but however getting rid of the Gwen in the long run, because Gwen can be very annoying because the fact that they can make your opponent's dudes a bit bigger than yours and you can't outpace them or outrun them, which is a bad thing. So getting rid of it is first priority, which he did. Not only that, Peter still had 2 counter each on of them, so he can get rid of like any res when it comes to play, except for the Percival, because Percival most likely will not attack, because Percival majority of the time will only go aggressive if your opponent is wide open with no counters on the bows or no bows in general. Then you can start attacking with it, but majority of the time the Percival will be protecting the Lancelot or protecting the Gwen or protecting the Gareth. Searching for the Gwen from the Percival top 5 search, giving more power boost to the Lancelot, obviously. A King Flame Shout and a Gwen in hand is not that great a combination, but he can drop the Gwen on the field if he really wants to. But however, if Peter have a Lancelot and a Hector combination, that is going to be troublesome for Ben. 2 resources open, so and he can power up his Lancelot, which he does. Going to swing for a 1,000 point damage, getting rid of the Gwen and putting Peter down to 1,600 life point compared to Ben's 4,000 life point at the moment. Field wise, 2 bows each, 1 Guinevere, 1 Gwen, 1 Lancelot, and 1 Percival. And the Lancelot is being protected by spells and abilities by what Peter can do, due to the fact that he has the addition. Now the only way to get rid of that addition, you have to sacrifice a bow. What I mean by that, bow has a couple of abilities, which is that you can remove 2 counters on it to destroy an addition resident on the field, or a standby card. I'm pretty sure you should destroy the addition and use a Lancelot after that and kill it, or something like that on the line. But let's see what he adds. He's adding the Percival to hand again, so pretty much digging for an answer. I'm pretty sure he's trying to dig for a bow or a Lancelot at the moment, and he does get a bow. Most likely we'll just grab the bow. Yeah, he's gonna grab the bow, and using bow's effect to get rid of the addition most likely, and he does attempt to do that and get rid of the addition, not allowing animal protection, and dropping King Flame Shout, doing 400 AoE damage. Now Ben is forced to make a choice to either protect the Lancelot or protect the Gwen. So I'm pretty sure he's protecting the Lancelot at the moment. Yep. I'm not sure what he's gonna play, and dropping the Snow White and attacking directly and burning 300 directly to the Gwen, not allowing Ben to have any field present at all, and using 2 bows to get rid of it, and using Guinevere to sacrifice the Snow White to draw 2 cards and discard 1. Field advantage wise, Peter's in control, but his life point is not in a strong position, but who cares about life when you're in a strong position when it comes to field advantage. Field advantage, 2 bows, 1 counter each, 2 Percival can protect each other, and the Guinevere allows you to draw a card compared to 2 bows with no counters and a Lancelot and 2 cards in hand. And I'm not sure what can Ben do in this situation. He's almost out of resource to play with. Let's see what he can do at the moment. Currently, life point wise, 1,600 compared to 4,000 life point. We've already hit the 10-minute mark now, so it's going to the mid to late game now. Let's see what Ben can do in this situation. He has a lot of resources to play with, but his hand doesn't look too good because for the previous turn you don't know, he had a King Flame Shout, which is not helpful. It can get rid of like the Percival and a Guinevere on the field, but that doesn't really solve the situation that you need to do some kind of DPS damage directly to the board, because even you do get rid of the field, Peter still have 2 counters each, not 2 counters, 1 counter each on each bow to get rid of your Lancelot, so you have to be very careful. And using Percival's effect to protect the Percival on the field so it won't get dealt damage this turn. So pretty much whatever Ben's gonna do now, it won't matter because the Lancelot will not do damage. And if you decide to declare an attack with it, you put yourself in a bad position because Peter still have 2 counters each on his bows. And deciding not to attack, passing back to Peter's turn. Peter's in a strong position with those counter on his bows to protect himself, not allowing Ben to go any extra aggressive play, and dropping another wingman, well, his first wingman, and then dropping an additional field to protect himself. And going very aggressive with the Percival because he knows that for a fact that Ben's out of counters and he has counter. If he blocks with the Lancelot, he can one-shot it with the counters and so on. And he can also block the fact that he might have a Demon Flame in hand because he does have 2 resources open to play with. Let's see what can Ben do in this situation. Now Ben can't definitely not attack now because not only he can't attack because the wingman's on the field, especially with counters onto the bows. The bows can get rid of the Lancelot. The wingman can get rid of the Lancelot pretty easily, and there's not much that not much Ben can do at the moment. But he did drop an angel on the field. I can't remember its name. It's an 8/8 vanilla. What it does is that it's just flying. That's technically it. Dropping the Lancelot played by Peter and pumping up 400 attack to burn off the Lancelot and attempting to do 1,000 point damage, which it does do, putting Ben down to 2,800 life point compared to Peter's 1,800 life point. So Peter's at the moment is going to play very passively and very aggressively at the same time. Passively not using his wingman and his Percival to attack, and not only that, using Lancelot for mostly DPS damage and burn damage and so on, can do a chunk of damage on the board. So let's see what can Ben do in the situation. He did drop a Gareth though, so Gareth can protect himself from Lancelot burn damage. Sorry about that, I just burped for some odd reason. Paying 1? Not paying 1. At the moment, field wise, Ben's field doesn't look too good at the moment because he only has 2 vanillas. Technically it's 2 vanillas compared to Peter's. 1 card can protect a Lancelot, and a Lancelot can pump itself to do a lot of damage, and a wingman can protect mostly from Lancelot and Gareth's play, so there's not a lot of option that Ben can do at the moment. He does have a lot of resources open though, but it doesn't really matter if you can't do anything with those resources. We're already at the 30-minute mark now, so getting closer and closer to the late game. Peter is in a strong position, even if his life is a bit lower than Ben's one. Ben's life one at the moment, it doesn't matter too much. In comes the Demon Flames, killing the Percival by how sacrificing the Percival for Lancelot to not get dealt damage this turn. Back to Peter's turn now. Let's see what can Peter do in this situation to get rid of the Flying Resonator. In comes another Percival, checking top 5 for a Resonator, Round Table Resonator, or a Regalia, and he does add the Lancelot in hand. Let's see what he can do with that Lancelot for maybe more aggressive plays and so on. So paying for activating Lancelot's effect and attack directly and burning 400 directly to the wingman. So now if Ben decides to block with it, will put himself in a bad position because he blocks with it. He has bows, Peter has bows to get rid of it, and not only that, if you block with the Lancelot, you block with the Gareth, you lose your Gareth and he lost the Lancelot. But however, Percival is still on the field, so pretty much he will lose the Percival instead. In comes another Lancelot and passing turn for next turn 4 I'll play for more burn damage and more DPS damage and more aggressive plays. Pushing Ben back to a corner at the moment. He doesn't have a lot of options. He only has 1 card in hand, 2 Resonate on the field, which can't really do much. Paying 5, dropping a Guiba on the field, a 12/12 Flying Dragon, which can be enough to do enough damage on the board because the bow is out of range getting rid of it. But however, It's not out of range from Lancelot's burn damage, especially when it's 2 on the field. With 2 on the field, it can be enough damage on the board to get rid of all your opponent's blocker really easily. So let's see what can Ben do in this situation. Ben can either choose to attack or play very safe and go defensively and hopefully to able to defend the onslaught upcoming play by Peter. He's going to go very aggressively attacking with the Angel. Goes to 800 point damage and putting Peter down to 800 life point. Peter is still out of range from any damage dealt by anything at all, and not only that, one less blocker for Peter to worry about because it's rested. So now Peter can take this opportunity to go extra aggressive if he really wants to. Paying 1 resource before recover phase, pumping 1 of the Lancelot to 700 attack and 600 defense. So he's going to do a lot of aggressive play now. Let's see what he can do. Paying 3 and pumping the Lancelot into 1000, burning 700 directly to Wyver. Wyver now is within range with 2 bows, but however the Garrett's going to come and block it. And Percival is not going to bother protecting it because it already did its job. And Percival can attack at this point and doing another 1000 point of damage directly to the face. And not that killing the Wyver, and that is his last line of defense. Not in that putting 800 point on board, and that will be the game. So that should be the game, guys, because as you can see, Percival and Wingman combined together, that's total 800 life point, and putting him down very enough damage on board to finish the game off. So that should be the game, guys. But let's see what happens from here. Thinking about his play. So yep, that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys next time. Peace.